Hello and welcome to another update on the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. I wanted to give you an updated overall broader time frame, bigger picture outlook. I think it's time again to take a look, take a moment and take a look at the bigger picture here for the Dow Jones. And clearly, the uptrend is still intact. Okay, I want to share with you a few things here. Let me remove those boxes here. They will be relevant on the smaller time frames. We can bring them in again. But for now, the idea is, look, we are here in this uptrend, in this move to the upside from the March 2020 low. And the yellow scenario allows for the interpretation of a diagonal structure, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, which topped then in December 24, wave 4, which bottomed in April 25, and the fifth wave to the upside is likely unfolding. And because it is a diagonal structure, the fifth wave should be an ABC structure. And we're likely working on this A wave to the upside now. Then there could be a B wave pullback and a C wave rally to the upside, potentially to the top of the channel, or maybe even slightly higher. Elliott Wave teaches us that when we're dealing with diagonal structures, that that what happens very often when we're dealing with a channel like that, there is a so-called throw over that can happen, which means the fifth wave might briefly extend beyond the upper boundary line of that channel before it then breaks down. Okay, so I think we're still in the scenario for one more high. That is still my view, my preference. But there are a few ways how this one more high scenario could play out. Okay, and this would potentially be the top of a major rally, right? But again, I'm not ready yet to confirm that because we haven't seen any major top confirmation. So all pullbacks, all corrections have remained, well, corrective, three-wave movements. Only if we get a five-wave move down, it would clearly indicate something else is happening to the downside. More is coming to the downside. The last decline, the dip, you could say, the correction that started in November was a three-wave move. And we even landed in this, we held a higher low, right? Held above the October 23 low, held above the October 22 low. So this is all a valid diagonal structure still. What I want to share with you is, first of all, add the boxes in again, but what is the technical maximum for that one more high? You know, what is the maximum? Because that's important to understand. When do I have to change my wave count? Because what must not happen is in a diagonal that the fifth wave is longer than the third. Well, it can be, but the third must not be the shortest. But because one seems to be the longest, it's clearly longer than 3. Wave 3 is just 61.8% of wave 1. The wave 5 must not be longer than 3, because if it does, it will invalidate the structure. So the way to track that is, what is the maximum? We need to check what would it mean for wave 5 to be the same length as wave 3. And that would be the 100% Fibonacci extension. And that's the maximum. Well, that's at 57,000. I don't find it realistic for the price to go there in this structure. I mean, it might be a different structure, but what I would say is a key level, a key ratio to watch is the 48,300 level. Again, it would mean slightly breaking above the upper boundary line of the channel, 48,300. Because that is, again, the 61.8 extension of the third wave. And from traditional Elliott Wave guidelines teach us, this could be a key level to watch. Larger degree, you could say larger degree target for wave 5. Yeah, it's a larger degree target. I'm not saying we have to get there, stop there. It might be slightly above, but it's certainly a level to watch. I want to remind everybody of that. Now, if we go to the shorter time frame then, zoom in a little bit, we can see that there are several support levels. Now, just by having a support area, it doesn't mean it has to be tested at this point. It's just showing you what are the key levels, right, that matter. What are the levels that matter? In the very short term, there are some ratios here that we've been tracking. Hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, some ratios that we've been tracking, like the next Fibonacci ratios above, resistances to watch, are in this area here between 45,258 and 47,290. There's also this yellow line that's coming in. Especially the 100% extension should offer some resistance. And there are different ways how this move to the upside could unfold. I see mainly yellow and orange as key scenarios. White is the bearish one. In the white scenario, we already have a major top here. We're already in a bear market. We just don't know it yet. I don't find that very probable, But I have to say this could simply just be a B-wave bounce. But that is not my preference. But even this B-wave bounce should find a top here. Should. Doesn't mean it will, but it should. Now, then there's the yellow scenario in which, as I said, we could get that one more high in a more direct ABC structure. Because we're dealing with a diagonal pattern, we're dealing with ABC structures, right? So this here would be an A wave, B wave, C wave. But it is entirely possible, because this rally has extended a little more directly than I expected. That is, it's doing the C wave in one go. So there's a way to do that. A, B, and then we're doing the C wave in an extended C wave. It's not my preference, but I have to say there's no sign of a top. Yeah. So in this direct move to the upside, we could have formed a 1, 2, A, B, C in wave 3, then get a 4, 5. And this can take us also to this target above. So I see two ways how we could get to this target around 48, 49K, which is either directly or via a larger ABC structure. But to really confirm the yellow scenario, the price must break below that upper support, below 42,222. So if we get a pullback of sorts, and I don't even see a signal for a pullback, then this would be the first area to watch. 42,222 to 43,589. We don't even need to think about the yellow scenario until we break upper support. So that's how I see the Dow Jones. For now, I think even in the very short term, even in the orange scenario, we might grind higher once more to reach maybe this 45,258 level before we form a top there of sorts. That's the update. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.